Welcome to Cinema Society Saturday, where we review a horror film that fits this week's theme. This theme is animation horror. I was assigned with Joey from Philly, who I previously gave him stage fright. He gave me Dante's Inferno, an anime epic, which is an animated adult dark fantasy film, which is an anthology surrounding this titular character who is going through hell. I've heard about this movie for a very long time, back in my middle or high school years when I was a huge gamer. I'm aware of the fact that this movie was based on a video game of the same name developed by Visceral Games, who has previously made Dead Space. I've never played this game before, but my girlfriend has played it and really did like it and got me curious in terms of how she was describing the game in terms of the depiction of hell. Which I think this movie has an interesting foundation of this main character who is going through layers of hell. It was an interesting approach to make each layer of hell in different animation style from a different director that does lead to some interesting animation to look at. The voice acting I thought was solid for the most part, which I was glad that they brought in the same two actors from the game into this movie as well. And I like Steve Blum, who plays Lucifer in this film, where he has such a very devious voice, it's very deep, and yet there's some form of charisma to this character that was very interesting in terms of his storyline and his character. The story of this movie does seem very interesting in terms of a main character going through layers of hell just to save his fiancée, but the movie does not do it any justice. A lot of the animations look very flat, and some of the voice acting can get a little annoying or not all that good. 40% of this movie is just nothing but non-stop action that just doesn't really do much for me. Because I just find Dante as a character not all that interesting in this movie, that it doesn't really show why he loves his fiancée all that much, other than because he just loves her. And the amount of times he just kept yelling Beatrice's name was just so obnoxious and a little annoying. For a movie that is less than an hour and a half long, it really felt way too short that I feel like it should have explored so much of this movie that it does make sense why it was better off as a game than as a movie. I wanted to know about the depiction of hell, I wanted to know about the layers of hell, I wanted to know more about Dante and Beatrice and Lucifer if the game does actually explore that character. But instead it felt like either a summary or an extremely surface level story of the video game that really doesn't feel like it did all that justice, that it does make me want to play the game, but definitely does not want me to revisit the movie. I give this film a 3 out of 10. And also, go check out Cinema Society Saturday, where a bunch of horror content creators make a review that fits this week's theme as well.